Welcome back to Star Control 2, the Ur-Quan Masters, and today, Melnorme History Class. If you remember in the last video, we actually had a ton of credits for the Melnorme, roughly 2,000 I think, and we've used that to buy all of the technologies possible so that we can turn this lander into that lander, yeah! And also get all the other technologies that are in the game so we could buy whatever we want for the main ship. Thing is, I have a save here that we're going to load right now, because the main thing that the Melnorme give you, aside from technology, is information. And we've already gone through one of them. Information paths that they have, because you have three things. You have just history, which is the one that we're going to do today, which is the longest one. There is current events, and there is species, right? So first let's do the cell, data life form, that's a lot, rainbow world location, bam. So we have almost 2,000 credits. And now we want to do, not fuel, new technology, no, done buying, show the leaving, I wish to buy information now. And we have current events, which we've already done to completion and written up anything that was useful, and then loaded, because we loaded. And useful data on alien races, which we will go through but later, and the biggest one is historical information. Now once you click any one of these, they just give you information. They don't actually, you can't control it. So there's just a bunch of historical information that's just going to tell us pretty much the entire history of this quadrant of space, of everything that's going on right now. And I really like it. I think it's really, really interesting. But it's just, basically what we're going to do today is I'm going to sit here and we're going to press enter, and they're going to talk for a long amount of time. I'm going to put 2 comments in, and then we're going to keep on going. So we're going to see how long this takes and might actually continue playing afterwards, but we're going to start this off with a Melnorme history lesson. So get a drink and let's get started. Please tell us historical information.
Almost 25,000 of your years ago, there existed near this region of space an association of star-faring races called the Sentient Milieu. This group formed over several thousand years to mutually enrich their respective cultures, to provide a safe creche for emerging sentient species, and to afford themselves a degree of protection from external hostilities via military alliance. Of the 7 most active milieu members, the most famous race, indeed, you know them well, Captain, were the Ur-Quan.
So we already learned about this from the Slylandro. They told us about the Milieu. And it was weird back then, and it's weird now, that the nicest of those bunch were the Ur-Quan. So we know that the Ur-Quan used to be nice, and something really fucked up happened to them to turn them into what they are today. And remember, there's 2 types of Ur-Quan. There's the green ones and the black ones, which we will soon learn are called, the black ones are called the Kor-A, which you already know, and the green ones are actually called Kazur-Za, but we usually just refer to them as the Ur-Quan and the Kor-A. Yeah.
The Ur-Quan evolved on a harsh planet, orbiting a star outside this region of space. They were solitary predators, like your praying mantis, Captain, or polar bear, who had a very limited set of social behaviors, most of which dealt with sex, since they had to compete for survival against many physically superior species. The Ur-Quan evolved intelligence and tool use in much the same way as your own species. The Ur-Quan also learned to master their fierce territoriality, to build a cooperative planetary culture. When the Ur-Quan were discovered by the Taeo, they had just begun exploring their solar system in crude atomic vehicles. Although the Ur-Quan attacked what they thought to be an invader, the Taeo were patient. They explained the purpose of the sentient milieu and offered the Ur-Quan membership. The Ur-Quan recognized the benefits that such a system provided, and once more conquered the hunting beast within themselves, to become cooperative, productive members of the milieu. This lasted for several thousands
of years, which is quite a long amount of time. Yeah, he talks. I mean, the Melnorme, they talk kind of in a monotone voice, but it is okay. It's very slow and soothing. But sometimes it's like, talk faster. Well, what can we do?
Just over 20,000 years ago, when your ancestors were learning to chart the course of the moon and stars on animal horns, the sentient milieu spanned 500 light years and included the membership of 100 worlds. Like all other star travelers, they had discovered ruins and relics of a far more ancient culture.
Always.
Which your species calls the precursors.
There's always more ancient stuff.
Explorers from many species spent their lives trying to piece together this ancient mystery. But of all races, the Ur-Quan were the most bold adventurers. Their scouts, flying single ships, penetrated far into uncharted space and landed from a million worlds. On one such mission, a young Ur-Quan made planetfall on a small, life-bearing alien world to identify some anomalous energy readings, occasionally a sign of precursor installations. Instead, the Ur-Quan found a small, hideous creature, a Dinyari. Before the scout was able to defend itself, the Dinyari creature took control of the Ur-Quan's mind and commanded the scout to place the Dinyari aboard the Ur-Quan's ship, along with hundreds of its evil brood. Then, the Ur-Quan returned to the heart of the milieu, landing on its capital planet. Within hours, every resident of the planet was a Dinyari slave. Within a month, Dinyari compelled starships and spread the evil, psychic creatures across the entire milieu.
So they were fine until Dinyari came along and started mind controlling everybody.
When the Dinyari took control of the milieu, one race fought back, the Taelo. These slow, quiet creatures were silicon-based life forms, but bore little resemblance to the modern Gengetsu. Taelo were natural immunes to the Dinyari psychic compulsion. They were unaffected by the creature's power, and the Dinyari would not permit anyone to exist outside their control. So they ordered the remaining races of the milieu to attack and destroy the Taelo home planet. This planet was one of the few milieu worlds located in this region of space. I believe you call their star Delta Volpecterae. Their home was a moon revolving about the second planet. I'm sad to say that the Taelo were indeed eliminated. However, at the time of their devastation, they had completed a device which they thought would give other races psychic immunity like their own. What happened to this device, this shield? It's hard to say. Maybe it was destroyed in the attack on their homeworld. Maybe not.
So we're definitely going to check that out and hopefully find something there, or a clue there that will bring us to this device, which we definitely want. Why do we want it? Well, we'll see. We'll see in the future, but we want anything that could possibly help us. But currently the Ur-Quan seem to be in control of themselves, so let's see more what happened.
In the Dinyari's new empire, the Ur-Quan were the favored slaves. This is probably because the Ur-Quan were the most psychically sensitive, the most easily compelled. As the centuries of Dinyari dominance passed, what was once the sentient milieu deteriorated and degenerated into a great galactic gulag.
Galactic gulag.
Alien races which did not serve with the efficiency and speed demanded by the Dinyari were ruthlessly burned from the faces of their worlds. The agents of this genocide were inevitably the Dinyari's favorite pet, the Ur-Quan. After almost 2,500 years of unrelenting Dinyari control, there were only 4 living member races of the once great sentient milieu. By this point, the Dinyari had used genetic manipulation to split the Ur-Quan into 2 subspecies. The green Ur-Quan. Scientists, technicians, and administrators who were responsible for maintaining the limited infrastructure of the Dinyari civilization, and the black Ur-Quan, who filled the ranks of basic laborer and combat soldier.
Alright.
Then, a chance discovery by an Ur-Quan named KOKOStern led to the violent overthrow of the Dinyari slave empire.
So, we have black Ur-Quan, we have green Ur-Quan, and now this KOKOStern found something.
The Ur-Quan named KOKOStern was a green, a researcher specializing in repairing the mental damage inflicted by long-term exposure to the Dinyari's psychic compulsion. By this point in history, the Dinyari had grown lax in their dominance, and on occasion accidentally permitted their slaves moments of self-direction. KOKOStern was able to use those few scattered minutes to compose a theory. From its observations, KOKOStern realized that when a slave died, the Dinyari disconnected from the slave's mind, lest it too be dragged down to death. Further, the Ur-Quan scientist uncovered the fact that when a slave underwent great pain, the Dinyari temporarily disconnected, but that the degree of pain had to be extreme, nearly lethal. KOKOStern chose its moment carefully. It waited until it was near an open transmission unit. Then, in a short moment of mental freedom, the Ur-Quan injected itself with a dose of acidic poison, sending incredible waves of pain through its long body. In the few moments before its death, KOKOStern was able to wrest control of the transmitter to send word of its discovery across the planet and into space as well. Before the Dinyari knew what was happening, Ur-Quan everywhere were hacking at their own bodies with chunks of glass, burning themselves horribly, doing anything that would give them the few seconds of freedom necessary to find the nearest Dinyari and crush the bleeding creature. As they gained longer and longer periods of control, the Ur-Quan developed new tools and weapons to destroy their evil masters. The most gruesome of these devices was the Excruciator, a mechanism which was inserted directly into the brain and generated a constant stream of agony. The Dinyari could not bring themselves to make the necessary mental connection with these tortured Ur-Quan. They were slaughtered by the thousands. The Ur-Quan slave revolt was won.
So if you've ever wanted to ask an Ur-Quan, why are you so fucking angry? Now you know! They have a really good reason to be this angry! Like, the best possible reason that you can think of. Because that happened. And that's just crazy. Let's keep going.
When the last Ur-Quan was free of psychic compulsion, when the last free Dinyari was dead, the combined might of the Ur-Quan starfleets met in orbit above the Dinyari homeworld. They had come together to make two important decisions. First, how to punish the few frightened Dinyari left below on the planet's surface. Second, how to ensure that never again would the Ur-Quan be made slaves. The first decision was made swiftly. The Dinyari would not be allowed to die. That was too kind a fate. Instead, the creatures would be genetically modified into sub-sentience. They would become dumb animals. These low creatures would be further debased by serving the Ur-Quan for all eternity in the most demeaning way the Ur-Quan could imagine, acting as translators, making physical contact with other species, whom the Ur-Quan now considered grossly inferior to themselves and revolting. The second decision, how to ensure their freedom permanently, caused great turmoil.
So if you remember, the first time that we've talked to an Ur-Quan was actually the Ur-Quan drone before we met the black ship, which is another case of meeting them. And they had the little window with the little pet. Remember the little talking pet? So that's actually a Dinyari that are genetically modified. Now another thing, if you recall, is that the Arilu gave the Umga a talking pet. The Umga told us that they have this talking pet, and they noticed that it actually has much more capabilities, and they could, you know, the Umga are really good biologists and genetically modification and all that stuff. That the Umga know what they're doing. So they noticed that, and they said they were going to help it. So you could start imagining what's going to happen there, which we'll find out later. But yeah, so they had to make a decision how to make sure that they would never, ever happen again. So what happened?
Following the successful Ur-Quan slave revolt, the Ur-Quan met to decide how to ensure their freedom. The Green Ur-Quan, who called themselves the Kazertza in honor of the Ur-Quan who triggered the revolt, wished to establish the path of now and forever, which required that all other sentient species must become slaves of the Ur-Quan or be forever imprisoned beneath an impenetrable force shield. Leading the opposition to this plan was Korra, a charismatic fleet officer. Korra proposed a simpler alternative, the Eternal Doctrine. Simply put, the scheme called for the systematic eradication of all sentient life in the universe, aside from the Ur-Quan.
Nice.
Captain, if these positions seem to you extreme or unwarranted, you must remember that the Ur-Quan had been unwilling slaves for millennia, and that each of them had to remain in agony for years in order to defeat the Vidyarne. The followers of Kazertza and Korra were all on the brink of madness, but neither side would submit, and so they fought a bloody civil war.
Okay, so either everybody are slaves, either battle thralls or under a slave shield, or everybody fucking dies. So those are the two ways for the black ones and the green ones, the Kazertza and the Korra.
This is the last historical item we have for sale. The civil war between the green Ur-Quan, the followers of Kazertza, and their opponents, the death-dealing Korra, lasted for decades. It is likely that they would have annihilated each other were it not for a chance discovery by Kazertza, a precursor battleship. The vessel was huge, many times the size of the Ur-Quan's vessels. The precursor ship sliced through the Korra forces in days. The Korra were defeated. However, in their victory, the Kazertza were humble. They realized that there was a chance, that they were wrong, and the Korra were right. Instead of destroying the Korra, the Kazertza let them go, directing them to make their way through the stars, traveling against the spin of the galaxy. The Kazertza would travel in the opposite direction, and when the two Ur-Quan forces met, they would fight again in ritual combat, with the precursor battleship given to the winner. Captain, this is happening here and now. The Kazertza, the Ur-Quan who enslaved her, are fighting their ritual battle against the Korra in a large area centered near the Craterus constellation. If the Korra win this battle, Captain, the Kazertza will stand aside and let them kill us all.
Yep.
We believe it is your destiny to prevent this from happening.
So yeah, that's our destiny to prevent that from happening, and they actually didn't say it here, but it was said somewhere else. I think it might be by the Melnorme as well. The Korra are winning, so that's pretty much, we're on a timer. I told you this in the beginning, that we actually have a timer. We can see the days go by, and at some point, if we don't do something, which we don't know we don't know how to defeat them yet, how to defeat their precursor ship as well, we're just gonna die, because the Korra are gonna win, and then they're gonna kill everybody. So that's the history of the Ur-Quan Masters. That's the history of the Ur-Quan, really. And I think what we have left now, current events we've already done, and alien races we've done most of it. So let's just go through. I used to lay down alien races, then we'll go back to actually playing the game. So he said that. Yeah, we said that.
The Precon who have been commanded.
Yeah, we've seen that.
The creatures presently fighting the Ur-Quan.
The Korra.
They are an Ur-Quan sub.
Yeah.
Their present fight between two rival Ur-Quan. The Korra are in. They live in a cell.
To ensure their safety, the Korra fight an endless battle against all other sentient species. And they're winning.
I must warn you, if this were...
Oh yeah, that's the Druge. We've heard that already.
The Vervixes race evolved on the planet.
We've heard of the Vervixes.
The Pradash are an arrogant who reside in the Draconis, and they have little or no respect
to
make the Pradash your friends.
Just consider killing most, but not some of them.
The Pradash.
Okay, you've said that.
After the war, the Chenjesku and the Melnorme chose to be slaves.
I think we've heard that already.
On Chenjesu's homeworld at Procyon. We suspect that they are melding their two species to form some kind of new hybrid race. A race which may well be
Powerful enough to destroy the Ur-Quan.
By our calculation,
Many decades, not centuries.
Wish to talk to them through a broadcasting system.
Power enough to penetrate the shield, which we have, hopefully. I mean, we've got the Umga caster, so that might be good enough.
The Mycon are using this time, while the Ur-Quan have their attention elsewhere, to expand their sphere of influence as fast as possible.
Mycon.
The Mycon colonize planets by launching top spore pods from orbit and injecting them under the planet's surface. Months later, after the spores have grown hundreds of thick, fibrous tendrils under the planet's crust, the tendrils suddenly thrust up out of the planet and create huge calderas. Not incidentally, filling the planet's atmosphere with the Mycon's preferred gases, clouds of superheated steam and sulfuric acid.
So that's what the Mycon do. So now we're listening about other things. So that's what the Mycon do. Alright.
Following the end of the war, the Androsynth began experimenting with interdimensional fatigue, a process which is related to your faster-than-light drive, but involves dimensions far more alien than hyperspace. They had just made a major breakthrough when they were suddenly wiped out by a race called the Ors, who appeared seemingly out of nowhere. Actually, we don't know what the Ors did to the Androsynth. They're just all gone.
So yeah, we've actually heard this from the Arilu as well, that the Androsynth tried doing something, and then with interdimensional fatigue, which is the boundary between dimensions, as we now know that we have an interdimensional quasi-space portal that puts us into quasi-space. So they messed with it, and the Arilu said that other races could smell you, and they changed humans in order to make sure that we can't be smelled. They changed our smell. Stuff.
The Arilu are a mysterious
interdimensional
race
fatigue
of IDF beings. IDF meaning interdimensional fatigue. They do not reside in this galaxy, or in fact, anywhere in this universe. While it is true that the Arilu are rarely seen far from the Columbae star group, they do make regular, secret visits to your world, and have done so for centuries. Ever since Earth was stage-shielded, they have focused their attention on the humans aboard the starbase, many of whom are now members of your crew. Though the Arilu always smile and are never overtly hostile, we believe that they have a secret agenda, which somehow involves your planet, Earth. These secret plans may or may not cause grief and woe to you Earthlings.
So yeah, they've mentioned that before, that the Arilu mentioned that they've visited Earth a million times before. And that's one of the funny things, because they designed the Arilu to look exactly like the stereotypical alien that we have. Like, if you think alien, you think of that almond-shaped eyes and greenish skin and all that. And they're the race that totally visited us throughout the years, throughout our history of the human race. So it's a cute little thing that they did with this.
Just under 20 years ago, the brave and suicidal Shofixi annihilated their species by exploding a precursor device, some kind of bomb, in the interior of their sun. The resulting storm of solar flares cooked the life off the Shofixi homeworld, and incinerated over 100 Ur-Quan dreadnoughts which had just entered the system to conquer the Shofixi. In actuality, there are still at least a dozen Shofixi left alive in the galaxy. 1 or 2 are at Delta Gorno, guarding the dead hulk of their once beautiful world. Others can be found in Vox space.
Yeah, I already dealt with all that.
The Slilandro are a mostly non-solid, sentient race.
Have we heard
who
these
live in a
before?
gas
They just
giant at
sometimes they
Beta
say
Cori.
things.
We recently sold them a self-replicating exploration probe, which has somehow turned hostile
And attacks everything in its
attacked. If such encounters have angered you, Captain, we possess a
Formal waiver of damages other than the speaker.
and are in no
Now we're responsible.
the cowardly Spaffy.
Yeah, I know. They actually live on their world or other side of their moon.
A xenomorphic species which craves the sweet-flavored flesh of the Spaffy has been transported to the surface
Oh, it's been
of their
transported.
planet and makes every attempt to devour the poor Spaffy. I'm certain that the...
Forever in your death if you eliminate this.
What? You fear the alien creatures will find you a treat also? Fear not. Our data... Should you wish to...
Yeah, they're on the...
to know the secret Spaffy cipher is...
Huffy Muffy Guffy. So this is the other way to talk to the Spaffy without talking to Fwifo or finding Fwifo at all.
Like you Earthlings, when the war with the Ur-Quan was lost, the Cyrene chose to be slave
I
shielded.
actually wrote this down, right? Yeah.
Their new world is at Betelgeuse.
Beetlejuice.
The Cyrene starbase is crewed by the starship commanders and crew who were decommissioned at the end of the war. Though the Cyrene hate the Ur-Quan with a vengeance, they are unlikely to offer you assistance unless you reveal to them the truth behind the tragedy of their original homeworld, Syra, which was destroyed by the birth of a Marcon Deep child a century ago.
Okay. We're actually running out of credits, so I might have to load.
When the Ur-Quan entered Gamma Serpentis, the home star of the Yehat, their queen made a sudden change of allegiance and allied with the Ur-Quan hierarchy. They became Ur-Quan combat thralls. This act was viewed by most Yehat starship officers as ultimately dishonorable, the desperate act of a corrupt regent to maintain her throne. The Yehat shame was greatly magnified by the Shofixti's show of courage when they destroyed their own star system to slow down the Ur-Quan armada. Captain, you have heard all that we have to say about aliens indigenous to this region. Should we learn more in the near future?
Alright, so we've actually heard everything that they have to say. Again, information about current events we've already done in the past. So,
What else?
yeah, I shall be leaving. I've got nothing more from you. We have learned that the Yehat live at Gamma Serpentis, but that's pretty much it. Most of it is just fluff, or it is actually very interesting, and some of those things we already knew. But, yeah. So that's the Melnorme history lesson, and now we're going to keep on going just a little bit and actually revive the Shofixti. So let's go do that. We have the maidens, and we want to go talk to Katana. No, not Katana. Tanaka. Tanaka? Katana? Tanaka, Katana. Tanaka! Hey, dude. What's up?
Greetings, Captain. It is good to see you again.
What's your report, Tanaka?
Nothing new to report, sir.
No wait, Shofixti, I have an important duty for you to perform.
What might that be?
What would you think about procreating wildly? Okay, I can give you the opportunity to replenish your species. I have something a lot better than fun ROMs. Are you interested? Basically, you know, we got maidens. Fuck them. Make species.
I am intrigued, Captain. But what are you talking about?
We have obtained females of your species. We can make available a bevy of fecund Shofixti nubiles. What would you say to rat babies galore?
Great reaping mounds of happiness! You You shall be honored forever, Captain. As the savior of the Sophisti race.
Totally.
I have been granted the ultimate reward. Duty.
Duty.
This humble warrior will take the Sophisti maidens you possess, gently wake them, and then perform ribald feats of unsurpassed fertility. With their consent, of course.
Of course.
Our people shall be reborn. Your name shall be recorded in our most sacred writings for all time. Thank you, Captain, and farewell. I have urgent business to attend to.
Oh god, that's awesome. So yeah, we actually just gave him the Sophisti maidens, and he just goes, talk to me. No, I want to talk to you. Can't talk to him. And he just leaves the system. So he leaves the system. I'm not entirely sure of what we do from now on, but I think it's like sometime from now, a couple of weeks from now, when we go to Sol, we'll actually get a message to Sol that the Sophisti are there, and we can buy Sophisti ships and all that. So, Sophisti. Yeah, it's not with a Y, it's with an I, isn't it? It's with a Y. It's with a. This is how we would write them. Sophisti are reborn, I think. Okay, what do we do now? There's a lot of stuff to do. So, where's Delta Vulpeculae? Vulpeculae. No. Delta Vulpeculae. Epsilon Vulpeculae. No, it's here. It's Delta Vulpeculae. Hate it when it does that. Delta Vulpeculae. Okay, it's that one. Alright. So we could actually go to Delta Vulpeculae, that's the Taelo space. And I think there's no really good way of getting there. What did I just click? So yeah, it's in Vox space, and we are here now. So we could just go directly there, and into that area where the ores are now found. We can see it here, which is obviously cheating. You can't see my mouse. I'm sorry. For some reason, you can't see my mouse on this. So I'm pointing at. Trust me that I'm pointing at in the direction of. Can you see that? Yeah. So that's where my mouse is. Okay. So I'm pointing at this area, like a little bit above the text, where the ores are. So we're just gonna directly go there into Delta Vulpecula and see if the Taelo, if there's anything there. All right. So yeah, go to Taelo homeworld, and we're gonna talk to the ores actually. If we find them there, we'll find them there. All right, so that's awesome. Did we also want to talk to the Yehat Gamma Serpentis, which is over there? So again, we're here. Shouldn't we go? Now let's go to Delta Vulpecula first. Doesn't really. No. Got that. Delta Vulpeculae. Delta Vul. Please, thank you. Jesus Christ. All right. So we're gonna go to Delta Vulpecula first, and see what the Taelo are there. He said it was a moon orbiting the second planet. So yeah. Yeah, the history of the Ur-Quan is pretty damn interesting. I really like the lore in this game. All of the lore. All of it! It's all awesome. This is actually the perfect game. There's actually nothing bad about it. Except for, all the really bad stuff about it. But other than that, it's really awesome. One of the issues is really traveling, which is sometimes just, just waiting. Yeah. Waiting. Alright. So here there should be some... Oh my god, they look huge. Those are ores. Taelo, homeworld, plus ores. So let's navigate. Second moon, but we want to talk to the ores. So let's talk to the ores. Hey ores, what's up? That means that we don't know if they're nice or not. So let's just converse with them. Let's see who the ores are.
This is a system message from ship's computer translation subsystem. Incoming message, extremely unusual in composition. Translation includes many lingual anomalies. Overall accuracy of translation is unknown.
Hello, Extremely. I hope you like to play. Some campers are not so good for games. Is it time for playing yet?
This is one of the cool ones. Because there is an issue if you think about it. How do we actually talk to all these alien species who obviously have their own languages? So we have a translation system in our ship, and that works pretty well until we meet the Urs, which are really fucking weird. And that's all we can say about it. The Arilu have told us about the Urs and have explained that they are also an interdimensional fatigue type of race. So they also live between dimensions in weird kind of ways. But these are, in the Arilu were weird by saying smell and trying to explain things to us in our own language. So these guys, they're just weird. Just really weird. And the computer doesn't know how to translate it. Greetings, I'm Captain KOKOStern of the starship Koko ship. We are having some difficulty translating your messages.
Yes, of course. Difficulty. Problems are difficult. Let's be special together. Spicy games are always fun.
You seem like friendly fellows. Perhaps you could aid us on our mission?
Yes, yes. We are too friendly. Extremely happy sisters should correct each other for celebration. So much enjoyment.
Yeah.
Shall we come to your house so that we can be relatives?
Yes? No? I think the answer is no. No point in rushing to anything. Let's think. What, you don't want to be relatives? You want to... I don't know. You seem very trusting. Why is that? I presume you're talking about an alliance. Yes, we're very interested.
Jumping peppers. This is Smiley time.
Smiley time.
You are campers after all. We will start alliance parties for better enjoyment.
I hope that means that they're not going to attack us. Okay, I don't remember. Are they friends now? I honestly don't know. I'm not sure if they're friends or not. I mean, they might be friends, but they might also not be friends. Let's talk to more of them.
Campers like to say hello when they smell the Urs.
We're campers.
We have learned this. It is no function, but Urs want to make campers happy every day. Okay. Hello. Now you are happy, I am sure.
Okay, now please don't take this the wrong way, but what did happen to the androsynth? I'm not gonna ask this for the very simple reason that they don't like it when you ask it. And then they fight you and kill you. Okay, hi there. It's good to see you again. I think.
That is funny. You think you see Urs, but Urs are not light reflections. Maybe you think Urs are many bubbles too. It is such a joke. Urs are not many bubbles like campers. Urs are just Urs. I am Urs. I am one with many fingers. My fingers reach through into heavy space, and you see Urs bubbles, but it is really fingers. Maybe you do not even smell. That is sad. Smelling pretty colors is the best game.
Okay. I'm still not exactly clear on who you are and what you... I could stay and talk all day, but I'm afraid I'm still not exactly where you're from.
You are a silly camper. I am always Urs. If I was not Urs, then I would not be. But of course, I am Urs. We are from the outside. Also, the Arilu Quick Babies are from outside.
Yeah, okay.
It is the same, but not. Urs are from below. Arilu are from above. Urs does not like Arilu. Arilu are too much trouble. We cannot have parties when Arilu always jumping in front. It make Urs frumple so much.
Totally frumple.
These are fat words. Do you want to play this some more? Yes,
Okay,
we
bye.
do. Goodbye is the game. Hello, I am only joke. It is funny enough. Do not forget to enjoy
the
sauce.
sauce. Yeah. Don't forget to enjoy the sauce. Who would want to forget to enjoy the sauce? Okay, just for the sake of, because it's interesting and I don't remember, but I want to know. Ask Urs Androsynths. Happy campers. So now we're just gonna talk to them and ask them about the Anderson. See what
I
happens.
am expanding.
Yeah.
It is so much
Squishy to smell you.
Campers are the best.
We are.
I have anticipation.
You do.
And then what?
I don't know.
Better parties in the middle for sure.
Yeah, better parties in the middle. For sure. Interesting creatures, we'd say that. So the Arilu and the Urs are... Whatever. Please don't take this the wrong way. What happened to the Anderson?
I am say best word, frumple. Maybe you do not know. Frumple be round yet lumpy. So bad. The asking about Androsin is so frumple, we are not happy.
Yeah.
Do not asking it so much. It is better to not frumple, or else there is so much problems. No more Anderson is better.
Just tell me, are we in the same fate as them?
You are not same. You are happy campers, but already you know. I will not talking about silly Androsin. Now is stop asking. If you are say the question another time, it is frumple too much, and Urs are dancing or dissolving the campers.
They're gonna attack me.
I am clear.
Yes, you are.
You are not so silly.
I am not. I will not ask again. Okay, now this is really a question, but let's say you were going to talk about the Anderson. If you were, what would you say? That's just stupid.
It is dancing.
Okay, yeah, it's cool. So yeah, they're really pissed off at you if you actually do that. Let's use Melnorme.
Go.
So I just want to show you how they fight because it's interesting. They actually release like these tiny things that if they come on board and wreck you and just deal damage to you. But this is actually really good. The Thradash are really good against them because I could just do this and they're just, you know, they just come up at me. So he's actually releasing a lot of, and they're just dying. A lot of these fighters, and I just use my afterburner and they die on me. So yeah, now he has like 4 more. And this is the problem area where I'm like, I need him to try and fight me or something. There you go, like that. Anyway, we don't actually want to do this. We don't want to fight them because we want them as allies. So I'm gonna do this. And this will allow you to actually see them come in and start dealing damage. See, I have one. I have intruder, and then they start just dealing damage. But yeah, the entirety of the Urs are just like, we're gonna kill you now. So they just, it's not smart and we're not gonna do it. they're friends now. We're allies, and we can actually build Or's ships, I believe. One of the moons. I don't know which moon, but we're gonna check. So we're actually here for the Taelo shield. If we'll find it. If it's here. Or the Taelo something.
Happy pieces! I am squirting nice colors.
Found something.
Why? The reason. Camper friends have come to Taelo Playground.
Taelo Playground.
Why are you coming to this?
So yeah, well, there is a Taelo shield, which the thing that the Melnorme talked about, but we need to know where it is. Wouldn't you mind if a bit of exploring the planet's surface?
You are asked if Ors are upset. Ors are not upset.
Awesome.
You are happy campers. Certainly, you are only slow time walkers.
Totally.
It is not fun on the surface in slow time. If you want to go, that is okay.
Cool. So they're allowing me to visit the surface of the Taelo homeworld. And you can see that this is a treasure world, first of all, which is good, because we could get stuff, and also that there is something there. So, let's get the stuff. Silver, but it's gold. Treasure world. Get that, and get this, and get that, and that thing, whatever it is. Report from surface, Captain. We have found an unusual glowing rock thing here on the surface. When we first noticed it, we thought it was a naturally fluorescent dike. Dike? Really? But upon closer observation, we can only conclude that this object is artificial in design. In origin, excuse me. Artificial in origin. Oh, indeed, it's so difficult to decipher. Is artificial in origin. Taelo design. Those guys were sure built to last. Simple radio matrix show us an age in exceeding of 20,000 years. Regardless of how old it is, it continues to radiate energy all up and down the EMR spectrum, with a concentration of emissions in the red infrared range, I guess. Even though it weighs a ton, we will definitely lug this puppy up to the ship. One last comment before I sign off. Ensigns Hodgins and Witherspoon, those are names, have both reported extreme headaches and mental disarray when they approach the Taelo device. None of the rest of us have any problems, so either the ensigns are just being babies, or the Taelo device produces some kind of shield that affects only certain people's minds. Maybe the scientists back at the Starbase will tell us more. So that's a Taelo shield, which is awesome. So now we have the Taelo shield. Devices, Taelo shield. Good. Cool. Cool. And I wonder if we can actually talk to them and to ask them anything other than that. Like, if there's something to talk to them. No, there isn't. There's no additional conversation. Now we can just access it because we're allies, and that's fine. So those are the ores. Alright, we're actually 53 minutes. The question is, what do we do next? I think we'll end it for today, but we do want to think forward at what we want to do. So we got that. Listen to his... Yeah, this is what we just did. So yeah, alright. And the Thradash are actually, I want to say green because they're still friends of mine. We haven't talked to them, so they're not evil, but whatever. So they're not Ur-Quan anymore. They're now our friends, and that's their homeworld. And the other thing of the Thradash we removed, so we know that this is the homeworld. We want to talk to the Umga about their talking pet. The Vooks are in Lighton, we have nothing to do with them. The Mycon we still haven't talked to. The Cyrene are at Beetlejuice, which is probably the area that we want to go to next. It's this one, right? No, this Gamma, it's that one. Right? Yeah, Beetlejuice. So Beetlejuice is kind of where we want to go to next. Talk to the Cyrene, which were our allies previously. And then we want to go talk to the Mycon, see what's up with them. The Eelrath, If actually, the Ilrath, we have a caster, and people have mentioned that the Umgav play tricks on the Ilrath, and we could help the Pakunk, the Ilrath that are currently attacking them, by screwing up with the Ilrath. Do we have the homeworld of the Ilrath, though? I'm not sure we do. It doesn't seem like we do, but we should have it. Like, we did, like, find it out at some point, I think, and maybe I just didn't write it? Am I an idiot for not writing it? Well, we could try and go into Ilrath space and check what we could do. Find home world. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to know by now. I might check it online and then see if we were told of it. Anyway, but we want to do Cyrene. Do this first. I'm gonna like just color it for some reason, and we actually, we didn't get the biodata, but we don't need any more biodata. I mean, biodata is now completely useless to us. Delta Gorno, don't kill. We now know that that's where the Shofixti are. We want to go to the Yehat, definitely want to go to the Yehat. They're very interesting to us. And then we have Rainbow Worlds. We could actually we know that there's, the large white sun is Groombridge. Looked it up online. Pair of Blue Stars is Beta Pegasus. There's no need for me to actually go there. I don't care anymore because the Mycon have told me, not the Mycon, excuse me. The Melnorme may have told me everything that's possible for them to know. So I'm going to keep this here because there's no reason to actually delete it, but whatever. Bervix, we want to check Arcturus 1, which was at this section of the system, like right here. You can't actually see it unless I click it. Very off to the far right. And also there are the Utwig, and the Druge. So the Druge are over here, the Utwig are over here at the top. We still haven't been to this, like, to the right side of the system, and also here at the bottom. So we should go and check those things out. And yeah, we have stuff to do. We definitely have stuff to do. So first of all, let's go to Beetlejuice and talk to the Cyrene. I'm gonna just save here, go to Beetlejuice, and talk to Cyrene. Cyrene, Beetlejuice. Thank you. So that's what we're going to do next time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll be able to talk on Monday. And I really hope I'll be able to talk on Monday and do it properly. It might be delayed next week, at least the first couple of days. I'm having something done, like a wisdom tooth pulled out, basically. So I might not be able to talk pretty well, but it might be, the next video might be delayed a little bit is what I'm trying to say. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.